Ladies and gentlemen, this is internet personality Vangelus, and I'm gonna ween! Alright, that's out of my system. Nothing more to see here, aside from a review of Jakks Pacific's World of Nintendo Wario, the beefcakiest thing I've seen stuffed into one of their blister-carded lineup of usually affordably priced posable Nintendo action figures. This is the first time I've experienced Jakks Nintendo wares, so my points of reference are zero, man. Now, I'm no Wario expert, just a casual admirer of the Warui no Yatsura, but this sculpt looks really on the mark, translating the burly and portly man of W into the physical realm with acceptable accuracy, especially for like $8 or $9 at retail. Aside from the satisfying girth of his rotund stomach and ample buttocks, Jakks Pacific's Wario also has a really badass head sculpt, full of chicanery and palpable waaaaaaaa. The paintwork uses the right colors, and they're applied boldly, but there's also a lot of slop and a few chips and scratches right out of the package. Wario's face turned out pretty good, but a lot of other stuff like the divisions between his purple overalls and yellow shirt can end up looking a little hinky. But it also feels kinda like, I don't know, I paid less than $10 for this, so I feel like criticizing the finish of the paint can only go so far before I sound petty. Context, you know? Wario's only got one accessory, and it's a mystery! Look at the question mark on the box, that's mysterious! Let's have Wario sit on it and reveal its secrets. Oh, hey, a coin. It sure looks like a Mario coin. That's about all that it is. Wario can't hold it. I don't know what to do with it. Help me. This guy is not very posable. He has 9 points of articulation, and the packaging not only calls it out, but it has the cheek to call out these as, like, action features. His ankles are technically posable in that they pegged into his body. You wouldn't really want to do much with them, though, because why? This is all they do. His head is, I think, on a ball joint connection, to be honest, but it only really swivels left and right. It's got some wiggle, but that's not posing wiggle, that's just hinky wiggle. His shoulders are universal joints, and there's also a hinge in his elbow, and then a wrist swivel. The elbow and the shoulders tend to work together because his normal, like, static posture is actually with the elbows bent, and when you straighten them, that's when you're moving his arms around. They can go forward and backwards on a kind of slanted angle, and then they can hinge outwards about this far, so you can have him basically either standing at ready, or, you know, like going waaaaaaaa, or punching stuff. So, he's not very posable. They call out literally 80% or so of his posability on the package as action features, and 2 of these points of articulation are complete nonsense. But he was $8, so I don't really hold it too much against him. And look at his body type. How are you supposed to stuff more joints in here at $8? To be honest, I'm not sure. As for size, I do not have Figuarts Mario at this time, but here he is next to a Figuarts Combat Shockerman. And I guess for further reference, here he is next to Batman. Next to Batman. So, Wario's a hefty little meatball of a figure, and as far as I've seen, if you do want to pose him with Figuarts Mario, it should work. But yeah, not very posable. He's more tweakable. Jakks Pacific aren't going for a very high-end appeal with their World of Nintendo line. Granted, Wario appears to have been less engineered than any of the other figures I've seen so far, using his budget for girth and paint over articulation. If you need joints and depth to your toys, you'd best look elsewhere. I do think he's a nice little bang for my buck, speaking as someone who merely wanted a decently made Wario for less than $10 that can wave his arms and look around. His size also puts him at a useful scale, particularly for those who went Figuarts for their desktop Mario. Jakks Wario is what he is, and I'm satisfied for what I paid. Anyway, this has been internet personality Vangelus, and as of this recording, I'm not really interested in much else from this line, but hey, Nintendo action figures! I know they've been around for a little while now, but it's still a new and fresh concept to me. If those upcoming Metroids look cool, I just might take the last one into captivity. The galaxy may be at peace.